What are rational numbers? Rational numbers are the numbers you have learned as fractions, okay? They can be written in the form a over b, where a is the numerator and b is the denominator, and they're both integers. Rational numbers may be written as mixed numbers, which have a whole number and a fraction part. For example, -2 and 3/4. The 2 is the whole number part, and 3/4 is the, quote, fraction part. We can also write them as improper fractions, where the numerator, the number up top, is greater than the denominator, the number in the bottom. In order to perform operations on fractions, we need to be able to switch between mixed numbers and improper fractions. So if we want to write the number -2 and 3/4 as an improper fraction, the first thing we need to realize is the negative in front is the overall sign of the rational number. So we need to be very careful that we don't change it. So when I think about this, the 2 is the whole number part. That means 2 wholes. And if I look at my fraction, if I look at the denominator, that's telling me each whole has 4 parts to it. So in 2 wholes, there are 4 parts for a total of 8 parts. In order to get that quickly, we can multiply the number of wholes by the number of pieces in a whole. So 2 times 4 is 8. But I also have these 3 pieces up here. So we end up with 2 times 4 plus 3 over 4. Notice the negative sign is still sitting out in front. We're not putting it into the rational at all. 2 times 4 is 8 because we still have to do BEDMAS, and 8 plus 3 is 11. So the answer is -11 over 4. Now, in order to rewrite improper fractions as mixed numbers, really, what does this sign here mean? That symbol right there really means divide. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to divide, we're going to find out the number of wholes, and we're going to find the remainder. So -42 divided by 5, if I'm going to do long division, oops, I want to see how many times 5 can go into 42. I'm going to forget about the sign. I know that the answer has to be negative in the end because a negative divided by a positive is a negative. 5 goes into 42 8 times. 5 times 8 is 40, and I have 2 leftovers. So I've got 8 wholes and 2/5 left. And I throw the negative back in because the number was negative, and it must still be negative at the end. Another thing we have to remember that won't always be stated on a test that we should always know: rational numbers must always be expressed in lowest terms. To rewrite them in lowest terms, you need to divide the numerator and denominator by their greatest common factor. For example, 24 over 36, or 24/36. What's the biggest number we can divide them both by? And that's 12, so we're going to do 24 divided by 12 and 36 divided by 12 to end up with 2/3.